was arrested at my own wedding because my maid of honor reported me for theft. I was standing at the altar holding Drew's hands when the church doors slammed open so hard they echoed off the walls. Two police officers walked down the aisle and my maid of honor Courtney stepped forward with tears streaming down her face. That's her. She stole $50,000 from our boutique. Courtney and I had built that business together from nothing. The officers grabbed my arms and yanked them behind my back. I looked at Drew, begging him with my eyes to say something, but he just stared at the floor. The cold metal of the handcuffs clicked around my wrists as they dragged me down the aisle in my wedding dress. My dad bailed me out and I drove straight to my apartment still wearing my dirty wedding dress. A locksmith was drilling out the door handle, and when I ran up to him, he looked at me with pity. Sorry, ma'am, but a man named Drew called and said you weren't allowed inside anymore. My own fiancé had locked me out. I showed up at my parents' house and my mom opened the door with swollen eyes. Courtney called us crying for an hour. How could you do this to her? She closed the door in my face before I could say a single word. I spent that night in my childhood bed until it hit me that Courtney was the only person with access to the accounts. I called the accountant who handled our books, and his voice dropped to a whisper. Courtney fired me 2 months ago for asking questions. She told me she could end my career with one phone call. I needed proof, so I drove to the boutique. The locks were changed, but through the front window I could see Courtney sitting on the couch we picked out together. Drew was next to her with his hand on her thigh. She was wearing my wedding robe with my initials embroidered on the pocket that I had left there the night before. She leaned in and kissed Drew slow and deep like they had done it 1,000 times before. Then she looked up and saw me standing on the sidewalk. She didn't even flinch. She just smiled and gave me a little wave before pulling Drew in for another kiss. 15 years of friendship, and she was rubbing it in my face while wearing my clothes. My whole body was shaking, but instead of banging on the glass, I pulled out my phone and took a photo. I was done being the victim. I drove back and pulled up our business credit card statement. Charges from the Westbrook Hotel every single week on the same days. Courtney always said she was meeting vendors. I called and reported fraud, and when they emailed me the receipts, my hands started shaking. Courtney had signed her name and Drew's name as guests 14 times, and at the bottom of one receipt in her handwriting it said, "Anniversary suite, charged to business account." I walk into the police station and drop the folder on the detective's desk. Courtney framed me, and this is the proof. He flips through it and picks up his phone. The door swings open, and Courtney walks in wearing the necklace I gave her for her birthday. She sees me and rolls her eyes. Oh my god, are you seriously still here? Everyone already knows you're guilty, so just admit it. She sits down and pulls out her phone and starts scrolling. The detective slides the folder toward her. Open it. She sighs without looking up. I don't need to look at whatever lies she put together. The detective's voice goes firm. Open it. Now. She sets her phone down and flips the folder open with one finger. I watch her eyes move across the first page, then the second. Then she gets to the hotel receipts and her whole body goes stiff. She's reading her own handwriting. Drew's name next to hers 14 times. She slams the folder shut. This is fake. She forged my handwriting because she's obsessed with me. The detective leans forward. We brought Drew in this morning. He told us everything. The affair, the theft. He said it was all your idea. Courtney laughs, but it sounds hollow. Drew would never turn on me. He loves me. He chose me. The detective stands and walks behind her chair. He handed us the forged signatures on a laptop you left at his apartment. Courtney's face cracks. No, we were going to build a life together. He promised me. The detective puts his hand on her shoulder, hands behind your back. She starts thrashing and screaming that I'm nothing and that she deserves everything I had. The handcuffs click shut as he reads the charges. Fraud, forgery, theft. They walk Courtney out in handcuffs past the same officers who arrested me at the altar. She's still screaming Drew's name. He never shows.